I'm Will Blackmon, Super Bowl champion and the owner of the Wine MVP. After my football career, I decided to explore the world of wine. I currently have my level 2 award in wines, and I'm still studying for my level 3. How I went from football to wine is such an interesting thing, because you think brute, you think just anger and touchdowns and all that stuff. But when the game was over, I would have a glass of wine. There was a situation where I remember I had dinner with these guys, and they were really enjoying like Burgundy. And they kept saying Burgundy's the best, Burgundy's all this, that. And I was like, I knew nothing about Burgundy, but I did enjoy it. So there was a particular dinner, I went out by myself, and I remember I got the wine list, and I said, I'm gonna find this Burgundy that these guys like. And I went to the Burgundy section. I'm thinking Burgundy is a brand, I didn't know it was a region. So I go to the section, there's like 50 different Burgundies on this page, so I just pick one. The sommelier brings the wine to me, and he sits it down on the table, and I look at it, I said, dude, I know I call the sommelier dude. I said, this is not Burgundy. He said, yes it is. I said, no it's not. I said, it's white. He said, okay, Mr. Blackmon, let me explain to you. He said, Burgundy, white, Chardonnay, red, Pinot Noir, and then that right there, instead of me feeling embarrassed, I wanted to know more, but that's my one embarrassing wine story that got me started in wine. So there it is. I would say the number one thing if you're going to get into wine is to educate yourself. If you don't know, continue to educate. Wine is already intimidating to most people, so the best thing to make it not intimidating is to learn about it. And so for me, that's why immediately I took a WSET course, and that just eased my mind and blew my mind at the same time. Yeah, so my experience with level 2 award in wines, it really just broadened my whole horizon. It helped me to not be subjective with wine. So the coolest thing was, versus me taking a glass and seeing if I liked the wine or not, let's say if I didn't, but I was still able to understand how it was made, why did it taste like that. Prime example, my grandmother, she loves white Zin. Like, she will bathe in white Zin if she could. Me, I don't mind white Zin, but it's probably not at the top of my list. But when I taste it, evaluate it, I get to understand why it was made like that. So the biggest thing what that did for me, it just broadened my mind and really just helped me just understand wine better. My advice for, first of all, studying for your level 2 award in wines is to, one, make sure you attend class. Do not skip class, right? That is important information there. For the level 3 award in wines, the most important thing is do not underestimate the short written answer part. Yes, you have the wines, there's multiple choice there as well, but do not underestimate those. Those are super difficult, they're challenging, you have to write them in a specific way. And then my last advice for level 3 award in wines is to make sure you get with the group. That is huge and massive. I try to study on my own and really struggled. So get with the group, and simply because everyone learns differently, but when you put your minds together, you'll have more chance of succeeding. I would definitely recommend WSET courses to anyone. I actually already do recommend WSET courses to my friends, my athlete friends, my celebrity friends. I jumped right into a level 2 award in wines and end up passing that. And so if they want to take level 1 or level 2, either one, but I say that because it's the quickest path to get education and understand yourself. So for sure, no question, I would recommend. The next thing for me in the wine MVP is I want to be able to bring education to my customers and consumers. I want to find a way to make wine less intimidating, and the way I do it is through education. You know, I fell in love with wine because of the history, geography, and how wine's basically a passport in a glass, and I want to share that experience with everybody else. Thank you for watching. To find out more about WSET courses, visit WSETglobal.com. Cheers.